It is a very beautiful Saturday morning with a lot of headlines, a lot of news making the headlines today. Let's not forget, this is our show coming to you live from our studio. Now, the major story here in the front page of the Daily Trust Saturday, as usual, it says Supreme Court serves the Yusuf, Mutfwang, 6 other governors. It says the judgments sound. That's according to lawyers. Jubilation in Kano, Jos, and other states, respectively. The PDP, Atiku, governors congratulate victorious members. Judgment should serve as rebuke to opposition parties. That's according to the winning party, the APC, the ruling party rather. And there is a graphic of the winning parties. We're talking about Dauda Lawal of Zamfara State, Yusuf Kabir of Kano State, and Caleb Mutfwang of Plateau State. It's a beautiful picture there. Below that, we see how bandits are closing in on Abuja. The riders are saying abduct, demand motorcycles, engine oil as ransom. That's a really traumatizing situation. Security expert blames informants of that, and of course we all agree that informants are part of us, people that are in our circle, our midst, that always give away our weaknesses to these people. Next, we have my domain taken over by, that's according to a traditional ruler. We've seen how these bandits tend to attack all the traditional rulers or their houses, kidnap them and all that. That's a huge way of making a statement to saying if your heads don't even feel safe, then who are you to feel safe? So, but then we have to give kudos to our security experts, because at least they are doing, much as they can. What we need more is for the federal government to give their own quota by, recruiting more people there. Besides that, we have grief and shock in the Kano community as abortion claims teenagers' life. A truly sad situation there. I mean, sex education, it is vital for us to, talk to the younger generation to understand what these things are in order not to get to this position. A sad one. That you find this story on page 10. Residents call for aerial ground operations. Key government institutions in Buari under threat. We are tackling them. That's according to the military, but then the people living there in the communities are saying we're not feeling that impact. You find that in pages 5 and 6 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Below that, we see tributes as Zulum spokesman Isa Gusau dies. Yes, a really sad situation there. Young person, losing his life at the peak of his career, giving back to his own community. You find that on page 7. And beside that sad story is a congratulatory and happy situation, happening. We saw Tinubu appoints Ali Nuhu and 10 others as arts, cultural agencies and heads. Now, this is an amazing, trip, a roadmap to rechanging, should I say, rebranding the entertainment industry, because we know that one thing that we have been talking about these people, also coming out to say that we need support, we need investment, we need government to concentrate on this. This is something that would boom money for the economy. Yes, not only the industry but also the economy
as well. Yeah.
So it's good that, we saw the first step the president did, which was to make a ministry of its own on art and entertainment. And then right now there's a step, and who better to get the MD
definitely
of that particular organization than someone who has been exactly a legend,
in and out of the industry and has been there for a very long time.
Exactly.
And people look up to him,
Of course. And you can see the passion. Like Ali Nuhu's movie, when you watch him from the beginning of his career to now, it doesn't
the
change.
Improvement,
the energy,
and yes,
the energy.
no,
He's still keeping
that's actually one thing that you just mentioned. The energy is there, like 247, like as if he's born for entertainment, I guess.
Entertainment.
Because there are people that's their calling, and that's it.
Exactly.
You just said it. So I'm sure you could try other things, by the side, but there should be one thing that you should be known for. Yes. And that is.
So everybody, I'm sure, agrees that he would definitely impact positively in the growing of this sector. So we wish them all the best, and we hope that it's the sectors that they're trying to create remits a lot to the Nigerian economy, because right now the treasury is a bit shaky. All right, I wanted to hear from you from this victory. Yesterday was chaotic for us here. Trying to gather all the stories back to back as it was coming in.
And we kept going live, getting feeds from the, So yesterday was actually a huge celebration for people. I was on social media yesterday and I was seeing everybody saying, well, who are you supporting? I said, I don't have a particular person I'm supporting. Don't quote me before you go and make reference to me and say, Fati said, so I'm not supporting any, I'm just neutral. I'm everywhere. Anybody that wins, wins,
No, at the
but
end of the
people
day,
were really happy. Those rooting for the Plateau State governor, for the Zamfara State, and Gida, of course, the people of Kano, they were everywhere on social media, It's massive.
I mean, at the end of the day, Fatima, the win is the win for the states. It's
at
not,
the end of the day.
It's not about the person.
It's not about the person.
As long as the states, the people are happy, and then we see these people. One thing is that these governors, your people have affirmed that they really like you, so please use this opportunity.
Both parties are good. They would have done good to the state at the end.
And there is this, notion going out. People are saying that
they could come together.
No, it's because the APC are fighting for, they want to own the whole state. But
which is not possible.
It's not possible.
Yeah.
We also need oppositions.
It's not possible.
But it's not that. I mean, Constitution has given every member rights for them to seek this, go to trial and all that. So even if it wasn't, if it was an APC that won, then definitely the opposition
still
party
going to be the same thing. Yes.
So it's just them exercising their rights, no hard feelings. But then everything turned out, and we hope it was for the better for the people of this state, respectively. We saw people show their jubilation through our correspondent Idris Ibrahim, who brought us back to back on the happening. Also, Ado Musa.
And even Sagir also here in Abuja,
in the Federal Capital Territory. And one thing that got me, riled up about this whole situation is how these things just, at the end of the day, it just became like a waste of time and emotional stress.
No, it wasn't actually, because people were looking up to...
No, it was an emotional stress from the first beginning. These people were already the winners. They were already the governors.
Yeah, detention. You mean detention that they may be going through, not knowing if they are going to be, yes.
Exactly, not just them, but their supporters.
It's
and
always,
the state
their politicians, I'm sure they're used to it.
All about the people of Kano. We saw, especially the people of Kano, we saw the roller coaster trauma that those people went through. Somebody went on TikTok and was crying.
I must commend the fact that there was there's no crisis, no fights, between parties because this one is pronounced or that one. That's the most, intriguing part of the whole thing. Everywhere was peaceful, even after the pronouncement.
I mean, yesterday when we spoke to our Media Trust Group political editor, Clement, one thing he mentioned was the fact that people are now aware that you don't need to destroy your property or kill yourself
to fight.
You
can lend your voice. You can do that.
You can show that I support this person, but it's not that deep, for you people to ruin your career. So, we are happy for all the people of this about 8 states, and we hope that the governors, make all their due of all the promises that they made them. Well, below the headlines of the Daily Trust newspaper, it says the Edu Gates, Tinubu suspends Empower, school feeding, and others. Yes, all the social, should I say, the vulnerable things that they are doing to society because of the controversy that is surrounding the humanitarian ministry. Now he's putting everything on hold, which is something I agree on. There needs to be a little bit a structure, restructuring of how these things goes. You find that story on page 7. Entertainment, it says, why I want to be the next Nafisa Abdullahi of Kanyewood. That's according to Zubaida. You find that on page 12. For Zubaida, you should aspire to be your own self. Create your own name. Nafisa Abdullahi created her own name. I think that would be the best thing that you could do for yourself.
Always idolize or want to imitate or be like someone because they like the person's ways or, you know, their upbringing, their morals, you know, all that.
Yes.
But then be yourself, create your own identity. It's very, very important.
It is very important.
So you don't get lost in
the other person. We've seen people kickstart careers trying to be like someone, and then you lose your identity. You will never be that person
because
you've lost yourself.
Focused on is to see that you want to become that person that you have said you want to become,
and you will not be able to do it because that person was being themselves. So Zubaida, you're doing an amazing thing, but start by saying I want to be Zubaida, you know, somebody that would definitely impact positively on the entertainment industry. All right, these are some of the stories that you can get and more on the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. Okay, so let's quickly look into the Guardian this morning. The rider on top there says how new migration policy affects Nigerians, Britain's economy. You can find that story on page 24 and 25. The inclusive entrepreneurial ecosystem is key to bridging funding gap. Florence Chikezi, you can find that story on page 15. You know, Sumaya, one thing I always like is the fact that you always find something about women in the front pages. You know, Daily Trust has of this, and then this one, always motivating women to, you know, do something. Indeed, and I agree with what she said. Yes. You know, inclusivity in entrepreneurial ecosystem, like women need to create, meet each other. Yes. Yeah, I've seen organizations come up like that. If you're into business, then you work together. There are things you learn from each other without feeling threatened to grow. There are organizations that give their staff the opportunity to do other side jobs, like sell things even within the premises or outside during break time. You could go just, you know, that is a good thing, because that's a way of, you know, encouraging boosting people not to just stick to their salary. One source of income. No, one source will not work. Yeah. So that's a good one. You can pick the Guardian and go through that story. And then the major story there says governorship tussle, jubilation as Supreme Court voids sack of governors Yusuf, Mufwang, and Lawal. You can find that story on page 2. And then below the major story, Tinubu suspends National Social Investment Program, which Sumaya just said. You can find that story on page 3 as well. And you know, Sumaya, it's actually very important, you know, this investment activities that goes on in different states, because that way you'll be able to help the poor and vulnerable. But then if something is wrong in the system, it doesn't make it. Then there should be a look restructuring into, yes, and then see what is going wrong, so that they can be restructured. They can restructure and then do what is right. Put the right person to carry out. To carry out this, Fatih, if you should ask an average Nigerian, I'm talking about people that are really needy of this initiatives. If you ask them, they will tell you literally that they don't want this. Yes. They would push and say we don't want palliative because we do not even feel the palliative, the impact at all on people. And that is something that a lot of people, you know, when you hear them, it's so sad when you tell them that I don't want the palliative because I know it will not even get to me. So it's really a sad situation whereby this initiative is created for people that don't have the money, people that are really needy, people that sleep hungry. But then at the end of the day, these people are not getting it. Else you would see the rich, you know, filling up their pockets more, which brings us to the whole, where is our patriotic heart? Yeah. How come you don't even have pity for your fellow people, your followers? Yes. What happened? So it's really a sad situation, and it's good that the president finally is listening. Because, you know, I remember clearly that during the Buhari's tenure, there were investments like this, and they've actually reached out to, you know, a lot of poor and vulnerable people, which they have benefited. Some, you know, from the age of maybe, let's say, 45, 60, they are given this amount, you know, for malnutrition's sake, so that they can be healthy. And then they were doing some skill acquisitions for the youths, and, you know, just to make sure that they have something, you know, take some student, or should I say, or the graduates off the street, giving them the chance to become somebody. Of course. So yeah, it's actually a good thing to look into it, because that's where the more of the investment should go to the youths, because I feel they are the future of tomorrow, you know. Yes. So you can find that story on page 3. And then let's look at let's work for good for Nigerians. Tinubu charges APC governors. You can find that story on page 18. No date yet for inauguration of Supreme Court's new Justice NGC
clarifies. You can find that story on page 3. Judgment justifies decision to end Gober petition in apex court, says Nigerians. You can find that story on page 2. And that's the whole story on the front page of the Guardian.
All right, let's move on to the Blueprint Weekend. At the top of the page there it says Armed Forces Remembrance Day, how our fallen heroes should be honored. That's according to the widows of these people, veterans and others. It should go beyond wreath and laying rituals. Indeed, and these people say, put their life down for the nation. So of course it should go beyond that. Moving on, you find that on page 26 and 27. Below there, there's a question that the Blueprint always asks. Ibrahim Ogehi and Ben Iroha, where are they now? Assignments for everybody there. Below there, we see women empowerment. We have to be realistic about our personal professional capabilities. That's according to Modi and Neni. If you want details on that, you can find it on page 21. Supreme Court verdict must serve as rebuke to PDP, LP, and others. That's according to APC. Major stories saying Africa draws global attention as AFCON 2023 kicks off today in Cote d'Ivoire. Interesting there, Morocco, Senegal, Egypt, hot favorites. Salah or Osimhen battle for the Golden Boot. Interesting. You'll find that on page 5 and 6. I mean, this is one event that tends to bring Africa together. Already we know how West Africa tends to do their thing differently. East Africa do theirs, and there is South, but then the AFCON brings the whole of Africa together. And then you go on social media and you see how interactive people are from all these places. Below that, we see local equity market sustains the bullish run and gains 244 billion naira. Busy Friday as Supreme Court okays 8 governors' electoral victories. Tinubu suspend the NSIP, raises ministerial panel to review operations. Another good one there. Let's work for the good of Nigerians. Tinubu tax APC governors. Indeed, I mean, it should be a tax for all the governors too. Now, these are some of the stories on the Blueprint Weekend.
Okay, let's look at the Saturday Punch. Idu returns doubtful as Tinubu suspends cash transfer, empower orders. You can find that story on page 9. AFCON, Super Eagles begin battle for 4th title in Cote d'Ivoire. You can find that story on page 32. Sumaya, our sports Super Eagles are doing really well. Yeah, I'm happy, I'm proud.
Yeah, we are proud. It's just sad that, another person, Sadiq Omar, went into injury again.
Yes.
So, but then we hope that this could be, would turn out to be good for us, Nigerian.
Yes, you can find that story on page 32. The major story, governorship polls. Governors woo challengers after Supreme Court's affirmation as supporters celebrate. Sanwo-Olu, Yusuf, Otu, Mohammed, Mufwang, Lawal, Oti, 6 opponents support. Lawyers, CSOs call for urgent electoral reforms, says court shouldn't determine poll winners. You can find that story on page 4. It's a good thing, like I said, they can come together to work for the betterment of the state. Indeed. Because there are people, they are there to govern people, and people will learn from them. Indeed. They are going to be like godfathers at the end of the day. When there's peace and unity amongst the politicians, the main people, I'm sure the people of that state will also have, to say that, okay, since these people have settled, yes, so we should be fine too. You can find all that story on page 4. How fake professor infiltrates Nigerian universities, vice chancellor cancels secretary. You can find that story on page 2. Now, Sumaya, that's, remember we talked about education. Now, in every, I don't know what's happening in every sector, you must find someone that is, fake. Either a medical doctor that claims to be a doctor.
The system is having an issue. How can you have fake professors to come and lecture your students? I mean, that is something that is wrong with it. We need to go back to all the systems and
we need to go back to the drawing board and see where the disconnection is coming from. Yes. So you can find that story on page 2. I relied on 16 naira for feeding monthly while in university, Fon Abadan. You can find that story on page 27. Nothing will change our loyalty to TB Joshua worshippers. You can find that story on page 20. Things fall apart as Davido's family squabble deepens. Now, that's entertainment story for Sumaya, which she's going to tell us more about it later, I'm sure. You can find that story on page 16. It will be difficult to dislodge APC in 2027, declares PDP.
But what is with the dislodging, though?
I don't really get it.
At the end of the day, party is just a way to navigate through politics, you know, to narrow down instead of people. If it should be individually, they would have tons and it would be too hectic for everybody. You know, so party is just that way to navigate. So it's not the top priority. The top priority is dislodge. Nigeria. Yes. Is the country.
Yes. It's the country itself.
In a party and all that. So that okay.
You know, it's a harmful. And the good thing is you always find these stories and you can maybe find solutions and then see where the problem is coming from. When you pick the newspapers, I'll go through the story.
Now we know PDP are coming for APC. So
2027.
All the battle does not affect the country.
Well, let's see how it turns out. Because definitely, you know, they'll always come out. So you can find that story on page 10. And that's it for The Punch this morning.
All right, Saturday Vanguard, the major story is saying Guba cases, Supreme Court rights all wrongs of appeal courts, and it's just restating, you know, the front pages of the major story of all the front pages. So let's move away from that. It says from Farouk to Edu, the murky reality of poverty alleviation programs in Nigeria. You want that details? It's on page 9. Shaky Eagles begin AFCON race tomorrow. I mean, I don't like this caption at all. Nigerians bank on surprise, which is a really sad thing. I'm banking on the will deliver, not surprise. Ivory Coast play Guinea-Bissau in opener today, so it kicks off, and we hope we see a good result from the. We hope that we see the main thing from the lead story there. All right, beside that, we see Abuja on the stage, kidnapping now daily, sad situation, bloody January 2024, how Nigeria lost 261 lives to violence, accidents, others in 9 days, and loses 29 persons daily on average. Yeah, December was sad, even to January for everybody, a sad situation you'll find on page 12. At the top of the page, it says, I feel honored beginning another phase of my career. That's according to Tiwa Savage. Princess Eduwo, they know there's a feature of her. So if you want those stories, you can find them on page 19. Dangote Refinery begins production. And Petroleum Industry Act is a total nonsense. It will not change anything until states as federating units are allowed to use their God-given resources to develop their areas and people. That's according to Obong Victor Atta in an explosive interview out on Monday. So, you know, keep a ear to the ground on this report. We would want to hear that as well. Now, these are some of the stories on Saturday Vanguard. And with that, of course, we have to wrap up the segment of the newspaper review. Hope that you were, you know, heightened on everything that that is. Exactly. this morning. We will be opening the phone line to hear from you about how you are embracing normalcy after the festive season. Is it normal? You know, because we know how after all the fuel subsidy regime thing that happened, a lot of people were complaining. Let's not forget the forex market. There's been a lot of shaky situations happening for the economy, and a lot of people suffered, you know, with the cash crunch also during the festive period to this time. So how are you feeling? That's what we want to hear from you. Now, in the aftermath of the festive celebrations, Nigerians are facing economic challenges, and how individuals are adapting to and coping with the hardship triggered by post-festivity economy strains. The challenges, especially with expenses like paying the school fees, the house rents, the health care, food, and you know, a lot of things. And let's not forget traveling for Christmas, the New Year, and the hike of these tuition fees, the fuel, the cash crunch, amongst others. It's now like normal for us. even though we keep crying out for the government to do the needful, to do what would cushion all this hardship. But it's now becoming normal. I mean, right, Fatih? We've now passed the whole anticipation of immediate effect, immediate change,
relief of when you're finding relief one way or the other. Yeah.
So now we're back to, okay, fine, let's just take it as it goes. But we already saw how it says that there will be hardship on the tuition hike, school fees are increased.
Parents are actually really complaining about that.
Of course. So how are you coping with all of this? Let's not forget, this is a very sensitive but most important topic to talk about. And don't forget that somebody, a stakeholder, the government might be watching this. So use this smartly. Use this way that we're giving you
the opportunity.
Exactly, to share your grief, your grievances about what is happening in the economy. No insults would be tolerated if the moment you start would yank you off. So use it to appeal to the government.
And then don't forget to send us WhatsApp messages. We already have a first caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, we've lost our call.
All right.
Do call us back and send us WhatsApp messages. Like Sumaya said, no insults. If we see any, insultive words, we wouldn't take that message as well. So please use this opportunity to say how you feel. How are you coping? Are things normal for you? We know that a lot of people, traveling from December last year to this year, some people maybe are not even back. Maybe they don't have the cash to come back, you know.
I mean, the only option the federal government gave us, if you want to come early, then you have to join, come before the time passed, which was, I think, 5th or 7th of January, to resume back for the 50% transport.
Okay, hello.
Hello?
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Your name and location, please.
I'm calling from Delta State.
Okay, can you tone down the volume of your TV set because we can hear a little bit of interference?
I can hear you.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, let me be fair to you. My name is Tega.
Go ahead, please. We can hear you. What's your take on what's happening?
Okay, what is happening, I think, is a sign of end time for everyone to buckle up and do the needful. This is not time for you to start blaming the government. It is time for you to buckle up and put things in order.
You're not that audible. I don't know if it's from us, but we can't hear you really well. So,
can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, the government is for the people. You and I is the one that make up the government.
Are things normal for you after the Christmas celebrations and the New Year? With the cash crunch, fuel, and everything. The little hardship that people, for some, is actually big. I wouldn't say little. Are things normal for you now?
By the grace of God, because I don't live under diplomacy of young.
Okay.
Things is better by its grace and mercy.
Okay, I think there's a network
issues,
yes, because I can hear some interferences. Please do call us back again so we can hear you very well. Sumaya, I was saying earlier that people are actually complaining. The hardship is actually taking a toll on people, their mental health.
He's a typical Nigerian.
Yes,
by the grace
of God. Yeah, now that, but then there was this sad story of this lady that committed suicide because of the economic hardship, and she's like she can't see a bright future and what have you, and that's what we are trying to look at, like people not going into that. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. Your name and location, please.
Yes, I was the one that was talking before the network pulled me on.
Okay. All right.
Good to have you back. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Okay, so like what I was saying now, whatever thing that is taking place is a sign of end time. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, so nothing easily come true except to work. You can hear me?
Yes, it's a bit shaky, so we're trying to grasp what you're saying. Just go ahead, keep talking, and then we'll get at least few of the things that you want to say. All right, we seem to have network issue of interference.
I'm sure he really wants to speak, but then the network is not, Okay, so
we have another caller. Good morning. Good morning. Our network seems to be interfering a lot on our calls.
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, okay, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Network is from bad.
Yes.
So let me be honest.
Yeah.
The government, they are not best. But we are not going to look at that. Our prayer is to see that we have a good government that helps you work. But the most important thing that they should look at for the common man is one, life. If there is life, someone who has and will live a better life. You will not be thinking of government to come and give you money. Then two, purity. Nigeria was not like this before. I remember when I was coming up as a youth. Now that I'm man. When we have cocoa at that time, we are living where the country was better. Everybody can eat 3 times a day. And you will even have reserve. But now you cannot even throw away your food because it's wet. You understand? But since oil have come to the country, the government have turned their back on the city. Everything should come to normal so that everybody will live happy.
So what's your appeal to the government?
What I'm trying to say, not only when they want to do election, they should also remember the masses and give them whatever they desire. Some of those of them who are serving, who are representing us from House Assembly, local government councillors, senators, they don't mean well to the masses.
Indeed. Thank you so much for calling us with your thoughts on the matter. I mean, he gave a lot of reasons why you should think of ways to get out of situations without blaming the government first, but then still the Nigeria of before is not the Nigeria of now, so we need more patriotism in our government sector. So he hits on the punch, and of course the expectations also on the government, because one thing we have to look at is even when you decide that you want to do something outside without the help of the government, there is still need for the economy to be stable. The foreign exchange, all of that affects your business. So also in that aspect, you would need the government to regulate at least or make some move in order to make the environment, the business environment conducive for both Nigerians and also international investors. All right, we have another caller there. Good morning. Please turn down the volume of your TV.
Maybe we'll have to let you go, then you call us back again when you turn down the volume of your TV set. Yeah. Thank you. Call us back, but turn down the volume so we can hear you, and then we can communicate with you. And do send us WhatsApp messages. I can see some messages are hanging before they drop. So yeah. So Maya, the last caller actually made some points, and initially we actually wanted to bring a financial expert, a personal financial expert, to come and talk to us on how we can save for rainy days, like how people can actually start up something with a minimal or little money, just to see what they can do, and then save for, Christmas, New Year celebrations that they are expecting for it.
We have another caller. Good morning. Good morning.
Hello.
Yes, good morning. Are you with us?
Yes, I was the one that was talking before.
Okay.
Yes. Not as if the government are not doing their best. But what I'm trying to say is that they should improve.
Okay.
They should improve and try to checkmate from the people. Imagine Delta State is the second richest state in the whole of Nigeria as a whole.
Delta State is the what?
Second richest state.
Okay, second richest.
In Nigeria as a whole. Second. Lagos is first.
Okay, all right.
And the state is not developed. It's not developed. It's nothing to talk of. It's nothing to talk of. Which is not fair. Which is not proper. Imagine the only company we have in Delta State is Tricycle, which is Keke Nape. That is the only company we have in Delta State. There's nothing like entrepreneurship. Upon that, people still keep on oppressing those that are doing the business. So the government should look into mostly Delta states. Look at other neighboring states like Edo State, Rivers State. They are far developed than Delta State. This is not fair. You see, every happy New Year is old age of a man. So what will you leave to say to your children tomorrow?
Indeed, it's a sad situation there. We hope that the state governments and the federal government are able to at least look into the states that need a lot of restructuring, growth economically and even physically. Thank you so much for that call, and we hope that your appeal is listened to. Because yes, we know how some states are, like a picture for other states, and before you know it, these people, they see these things, and there is envy from some states to another because of how progressive some states are and how left behind others are. All right, we have another caller. Good morning.
Please turn down.
Okay, I don't know what's happening on that
turn
one,
down the
but then
volume.
we'll have to let you go because there is an echo. I could literally hear our last caller's voice. So please, if you're calling us, turn down the volume of your TV set or move away from the TV. You don't need to hear yourself. Or
you can get your family members to record you while you're somewhere, making the call. If you want to hear yourself, but that's the truth. People really want to hear them talk.
The best thing you would do is go back to our social media platform
and then
YouTube.
Watch it. Yes,
we have live streams. We'll put this out there so you can catch up on your call. So just need to send message via WhatsApp, to tell us how you feel about what is going on, aftermath of the festivities. How are you feeling? Let's not forget there was already a warning of make sure you don't do dirty December. That was last December.
Yeah.
Because of how how much expectations people have on January. January is always that month where people feel it's lengthy, and it's
5 weeks.
But it's not 5 weeks.
But it's 5 weeks now. Last year was 5 weeks.
Just because people say January is usually, but it's not usually. It all depends.
Maybe because it's a leap year. This year is a leap year, right?
Okay.
So for those that are celebrating their birthdays on 29th of February,
and let them
it only comes once, one comes once in 4 years. Now that's not the thing, right? Let's not forget that there are some students that actually work to put their bills themselves, and then maybe they have to take care of their families. Even the workers too, they're still, furthering their education, maybe going for second masters and stuff, and then you're not married, but you have families that you have to cater for. The responsibility is too much. After taking all that responsibility, how are you coping? From December to January.
And let's not forget the people that do have another major responsibility, the workers with unchanged salaries, just the added 35,000 wages, which some people are not even still feeling. And there is, of course, the house rent matter. We're talking about the school fees of the kids. We're talking about food, unexpected health issues, all of that. How are you coping with it? So there's a lot to talk about. We have, I think, another caller joining us. Good morning. All right, we lost that call. Please go ahead and try. We can see that the network is creating a bit of interference.
Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Hello?
Are you with us?
Hello.
Morning. Your name and location, please.
No, we can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
We absolutely cannot hear you. Your name is what?
Are you here with us?
All right, we lost that caller. Please.
She just woke up and he wanted to maybe call on.
Yes,
because the voice was so low. Yes. So yeah, you were saying something about workers and the wages.
Yes, so a lot of things are happening, and then after December, which there's a lot of expectation for you to cook and gift people, and then when you go home, they haven't seen you for the longest time, so people are expecting gifts. You know, in cash and other items. So things like this leaves people at the end of that month, at the end of the year or beginning of this year, even a bit down on cash, on money, and then there is huge responsibility. So how are you faring?
Well, good morning. Your name and location, please.
Good morning. Are you with us?
I think the network is
interfering, and today we wanted to
and it's not just today, even yesterday we were having similar issues, but then we were able to.
The longest has been a bit of shaky. It hasn't been perfect, but then today seemed to be a really bad day for us.
And then the thing that I really want to hear from people is having this issue with house rent, which is a shelter for you, your family. For those that needed to renew this year, especially January.
Trust TV, we did a documentary on the increase of house rent in the FCT. So an FCT, Lagos, Port Harcourt,
and that's that because things are expensive. The economic hardship is taking a toll on everyone.
Expensive?
Well, it's not about that,
I think it boils down to regulations. In other states, which we tend to definitely refer to, we are seeing these things happen. So we know we are lacking behind on those parts. But there is always a regulation of prices.
Now we are going to shake a table, you and I, because that's why we had this little banter, But the thing is, when you have a house as a landlady or a landlord, you actually want to benefit. You want to gain something from it. You're not just keeping it for people to come and keep.
The basics of it, but we have a caller now. Good morning. Good morning. All right, we seem to have issues with that call. Moving on to our discussion. So, as I was saying, first of all, Fatima, houses. You remember when houses were collapsing in Lagos, and they were saying that there should be a regulatory board that would go and check these houses. So there are also in that board there should be developers and all that. Your house has to be do with location, has to do with the building, the capacity.
Okay, we have a caller
that we use to charge the price.
Professor Sumaya is in the mood.
Good morning.
Hello?
Yes, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Your name and location, please.
Your name from Lokoja.
Your name?
From Lokoja.
Okay, Abubakar. Where are you calling from?
Lokoja.
Okay, thank you for joining us. Go ahead.
When it comes to festive periods.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, you are. Go ahead.
It's all about planning. Because things are not normal again.
Can you turn down a bit?
I don't know if it's from us or from our technical guys. Please help us fix it. We can't hear them so well. So it's a bit rowdy. Are you still with us?
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay. So go ahead.
So if you are to look at what people earn as income, that is from where they work, daily or monthly, they hardly survive. And these are people that from January to December, you hardly send money. So when it's now end of the year, you have that feeling of doing something for them. So it's not tedious for you to cover most of those people because at the end of the day, the responsibility is too much. Understand? And you have your own immediate family to cater with. So that's the issue. For someone that is earning 50 to 100,000 naira now, with this Nigeria that we are now, how do you survive? Even without you even sending for someone, it's not even enough to cater for the immediate family. So, and another thing is that they look onto you that you are working. If you are working and you are earning salary, they see you as okay. There are one or two things that you have to do in the family. So if you cannot do anything from January to December, at least that December you'll be able to do something for them. This is the main issue. So what we do is that we cut down costs. Cut down costs, because now I can tell you that for free now, an average Nigerian cannot fill the tank of his vehicle again. You see?
But there are some things that you cannot cut down cost on. We're talking about school fees.
I was actually thinking.
Health, house rent. You can't cut the cost of all of that. Luckily enough. Hello? Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Luckily enough, there are some the tenant-landlord relationship should be maintained. You can go bargaining for paying twice in a year.
Okay, instrumentally.
And at the same time, most of the calendar year is not January to December. So people, not everybody most people don't pay their house rent during December.
True.
Sometimes it lapses to the following year. So that is the thing. But mostly that we have to cut down costs if you know that we are not having more income coming.
Indeed.
So by all means, cut down costs. If you have to trek, you trek.
That is true. Well, thank you so much, Abubakar from Lokoja, for that input. We appreciate it. All right, so he gives his own advice of cutting down on cost, because most times you have to adjust, and that's why always there's that adjustment. You see couples saying, okay, we have to adjust, let's re-strategize. But one of the things that is helping, at least with this situation, is the fact that now majority of people, of couples, are not only relying on one person. You know, so the other parties also expected to help I was actually, one way or another.
Yeah, I was thinking when he was speaking of the cutting of costs, like you said, there are some problems or challenges that you have right in front of you that you can't cut costs for, like you mentioned, school fees and other things. Even some minor, challenges here and there that needs, monetary interference. You can't cut them. It's better you solve it, and then you can save. Maybe you can have a little grace because you've solved maybe 50% of your problem. When you have it, just do it. And then you can begin to save for which we know it's not going to stop.
Honestly,
every day it's a hardship.
Past the saving period. Yes, people, way before the removal of subsidy,
yes,
you have the extra to okay, let me save, and but then right now, no
just fighting to survive.
Especially if you earn below 200,000, because you're looking at the economy situation.
Don't forget one of the stories in front pages of one of the newspapers that the person said he survived on 16 naira when he was in school. I was imagining what he would be eating 16 naira. Maybe the location where he is, food may be a bit cheap, maybe he can go and eat maybe just masa and take one pure water and just go to sleep.
Is even becoming
15 naira, exactly, So maybe when they were selling it 10 naira, maybe 10 naira, you could eat 5. I'm just saying, maybe, and just try to say that, okay, yeah, you've eaten something, but you're not satisfied. But then you're trying to minimize, and then cut costs for yourself. So you don't put burden on your parents. So when I was in school, actually, funny enough, right? I try not to go broke. I don't wait for my family to send me money. You know what I do? I try to maybe, help out with people's assignments, and maybe they are not available. I'll ask them.
I cannot believe you're saying this on air, with people saying that. But then,
no, but then the people were actually doing that.
We see, it's not something that people really talk about, people. But then, a lot of things about these situations, happening boils down to exactly what is going on. You see your situation, you tell yourself you need to fix that situation, and you have to manage what you have to get what you want. So based on the statistic, Fatima, the people that earn less than 100,000 are much more than the people that earn more. So government should do that maths. Yes. All right, we'll have another caller. Good morning.
You don't want me to say it.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, your name and location, please.
My name is Abdullah. I'm calling from the forest.
Okay, Abdullah, thank you for joining us. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Actually, democracy apparently families have been through a lot because of the before removal subsidy. But actually, what I could just see is that Nigerian situation is the government have to intervene more because the low income earners that
are you still with us? I think
the network
we lost
is
him. Yes,
yeah,
and he was really getting into it.
I could barely hear what he was actually saying because his words are rumbling. Like I could barely.
I caught up on the low income workers, earners rather, and it was what I was talking about. I say in Nigeria, majority of people earn less than 100,000. Majority of people. We're talking about the numbers. If you count amongst the 100% of Nigeria, you see that about maybe 50% at least have earn less than 100, and with all the other things happening, it's really a sad situation. So we hope that, of course, necessary stakeholders are looking into this issue. So go ahead, call us via the number on your screen and send a WhatsApp. All right, so we have a caller. Good morning.
Good morning, Shemaya.
Yes, thank you for joining us. Your name and location, please.
Thank you very much for having me on the program this splendid morning of today. Mohammed Modibo calling from Gombe State.
Mohammed Modibo, thank you for joining us again. Go ahead.
Yes, the pleasure is always mine. This is one of the festive periods that Nigerians had it rough and tough. Many of the civil servants from the federal government celebrated without having salary. Those that are having something with them, it was not sufficient enough. So Nigerians are going through a lot, and more is being expected to come from the government. It is only the government can come to the rescue of Nigerians at this terrible and deteriorating economic situation. Everybody is feeling the heat. The heat is everywhere. Life isn't easy for Nigerians anymore. This country is becoming one of the top country for people, toughest country for people to live on earth because of this economic deterioration and the falling standard of living of our country. This country has no per capita income. People are living from hand to mouth. Many households have forgotten the last time they ate 3 times a day. So life is not easy for Nigerians. The government must wait in to ensure that things are done rightly. If not, if the trend of events continue this way, many Nigerians will not find it easy, and many Nigerians will continue to leave this country. As it is now, many are going out of the country because of the terrible economic situation they are living in, and what they are earning monthly is not something to write home about, and not cater for their families. So we are calling on the government to come to the rescue of Nigerians, to salvage Nigerians from this hopeless and bleak economic situation before things get worse. We are hoping and praying that things will materialize at the end of the day, so that Nigerians will enjoy what the dividend of democracy is all about, and enjoy what the beauty of democracy is all about. So good governance is the way forward. Result-oriented leadership, purposeful leadership, leadership that cares about the well-being of the downtrodden and the Nigerian people at large. Let's prioritize the interests of the general public against and above our own personal and parochial interests. That is my little take. Thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity given to me this morning.
Thank you so much, Mohammed Modibo from Gombe, for that amazing.
Okay, so we have some WhatsApp messages, even though some are still coming through. Let's take this one. It says, "Good morning, Trust TV. Good morning, Trust TV. You all are well. Trust you all are well. Welcome all back from celebrations period. We give God the adorations. The palliative we anticipated from the government is not forthcoming. The renewed hope cash that is supposed to be 25,000 for 3 months, we only see it once. So we encourage our amiable President Ahmed Tinubu to, as matter of public importance, should please stop those saying they are giving cash to people. In most cases, it is criminal. It is criminal. Why not pay it to people's accounts directly? In conclusion, the fraud going on in the ministry is becoming alarming. We people feel free to send money to private accounts and have a justified claims that nothing to write home about. I want to say we are not safe in each other's hands going forward. His Royal Highness Alhaji Mohammed Baba Idaunoko Sarkin Wasi of Lokoja Zaki.
When you started reading it, I was thinking
you already know that he's the one.
I didn't see the name, but I was that line of intellectual. You tend to know
who is, yeah, and then our last caller as well. Exactly. It's either he calls or this person also. These are the two people that we know we can always say that so this is
a really
actually
amazing thing, you know. And then he made mention, he detailed on the hardship people are going through, and
we have a caller.
So it's really a matter of urgency to talk about that situation. All right,
thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Good morning, are you with us?
I think we've lost our call.
Right. Yes.
Do well to call us. Are you here with us?
We cannot hear
you. If you can hear us, please call us back again.
Yes, go ahead, call us back because we just have a few moments of time to talk before we'll be wrapping up the segment. So let's hear from you. Send your messages in order for us to read out, you know, about situations happening. How are you coping with everything that is happening? A lot of situations are happening, a lot of people. And people, yes, have pointed out, majority, that they have not received, we're talking about the civil servant, they have not received about just 25,000 naira that they were asked to receive. All right, we have another caller there. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. Your name and location, please.
Yeah, calling back from Lokoja.
Okay, go ahead with your
Well, I think pertaining the issue of palliative. I don't think when you talk about the population of the country, many people don't even know what is palliative. And I just feel that God's palliative. I think the best way to render assistance in this critical time, I think the government should look at all these food companies, all these food processing companies. Try their best to make sure that they give them certain incentives that will lower the price of production.
But do you think even with that, people will feel the impact? Because we've seen how a lot of creative things have, you know, gone down the drain. That's why the president is shutting down all
if you are to look at it very well,
yeah.
There are many companies that are into food production. They can try, at least, even if they are to reduce the taxes on those companies so that these prices can come down that we can afford. A bag of sugar is going to almost, Dangote bag of 50 kg is going to almost 60 or 70,000 naira. You see. So, and this is something that we can get at 30-something, 35 or 32,000 naira before. And if these companies are given certain incentives so that they can also use them to shock certain expenses in production, most of these things will come down. It's not that the government will do it permanently. It will be for just a period of time. Okay, we are giving you this window from this time to this time. We are not paying this tax on this. And we want to see changes in the price. Because you can't force those companies to not sell at what they want to sell because they are there to make profit. But if the company are saying what government is doing, today too they will have compassion and we can reduce, we can cut down, we can do this. Understand? I'm talking from experience because I know what I work with some of these food companies. Understand? There are certain things like 2 or 3 years ago you buy at 2,000, 2,500. A carton of noodles you buy at 1,500, but now you hardly get there at 5,000 naira.
True.
Understand? So these are places that government can go into to make sure that these things. So by so doing now, at least some people can benefit from it.
That's true. All right, thank you so much. We hope that's another angle to look at it. Thank you for your contribution. It's another angle. He made mention that he worked in food, in industry, and he knows how these things work. So if the government would actually look at that, which is something that the government has never thought
it's
of.
Actually
the only palliative they thought of is to give state governments and others, and also the alleged controversy around the National Assembly people.
People are actually saying you should palliative, giving people rice, one pack of spaghetti, one pack, it's not enough. Okay. Yeah, so.
We have another caller. Good morning. Good morning.
Hello?
Yes, morning. Your name and location, please.
Good morning.
Can you please tone down the volume of your TV set, please? We can hear yourself from your call.
Yes, I'm hearing you. Good morning.
Good morning. Your name and location, please.
I'm Madam Talking, calling from Lokoja.
Okay. Thank you for joining us from Lokoja. Go ahead.
Good morning. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Yes. No, we're not talking about just palliative. We're talking about the aftermath of the festivities. How are you coping with the economic hardship?
Yes. Yeah, the hardship is too high. And the palliative cost is, let's say out of 100, between 25% that got the palliative here in Lokoja and speaking directly from Lokoja to this state. Yes, I can say it's 25% that has got the palliative. I think government should know what to do about that. This is 25,000 we're talking about. Let's say some people get it once, and up to now, people have not gotten money to people message. So please, the federal government will help us with that. Don't leave it to manage yourself. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for that one. I mean, he's talking about what is happening in Lokoja and how they're faring even over there. Let's not forget the insecurity in the Lokoja road. Yes. So a lot of things I know would affect even the transportation of food and other aspects of things. But then people are really going through a lot. It's really a sad situation. We have messages coming in, a lot of messages there that, of course,
some are hanging.
Yes, before the time elapsed. I think we have another caller calling us. I don't know if he's still on the line. But we lost that call. So talking about a few things, a few minutes for us to wrap in this. All right, we have, are we taking a call? We have another call. Good morning. Good morning. Hello? No, we cannot talk to you. You need to tone down the volume of your TV set. It's even overpowering your own voice. We have to let you go. We have to let you go. The volume is too much. Please, we need to let that phone call go. It's the volume of the TV set from that person is even too much, overpowering his own voice. All right, we'll take a few messages, and of course, we will be wrapping up this segment on the show. From this, Fatima, what messages do we have yet?
Oh, well, there are some messages that are still hanging, but there's one that said, yeah, good morning, Trust TV. The government means well for the country, but some ministers are not ready to work with him, but we the youths are strongly happy with the recent decision taken by him concerning the suspension of the humanitarian minister. You did not send us your name and, location, but I think your name is Mohamed Shuaibu from Kogi State, from the last message that you sent.
Yeah,
yes,
I hope we did justice in it.
Yes, so thank you so much for that message.
Yeah, and he added that the cost of transportation is too high, and it has highly affected everything in his state, that is Kogi State.
Oh, wow.
Yes, cost of transportation, I think everybody and everywhere in Nigeria are feeling the hardship, the impacts of that.
Yes.
And the government, I hope they're working on things in order to make, all these things come back. If there is one thing we've seen with the efforts of the president is that he's coming out to say, to show us, not by saying, because actions speaks louder than word. He's showing us that he listened and he's doing the needful in order to checkmate all the public officers, in order to checkmate all the public funds into channeling it into the nation's treasury to bring a better infrastructure in the country in general. So we hope that, of course, all of that is brought to rise for us to move past this hardship. A lot of people are going through. We have a lot of messages coming in, but I think because of time, we would have to take a pause on this segment. But of course, do not fret. Next week, Saturday, you can still come and we'll open the phone line to talk to you about these issues.
We are going to be looking at the inspirations and creativity of songwriting, the processes as well. And we are going to embark on the captivating journey through the world of music, as well as its influence on shaping a musician's creative landscape. This exploration will help us to uncover the depth of inspirations and shed light on the unique creative processes that breathe life into melody and rhythms. And we have in the studio Aliyu Musa, popularly known as Bishop Swag. Okay, so tell me, how did you come about this name, Bishop Swag?
I mean, I was curious. That was the first
that would have been the first thing, right?
Yeah,
Bishop Swag. Because I was actually wondering.
Usually, I'm more calmer,
and then Musa Aliyu, and then Bishop Swag. So please tell me
I always get that question anywhere I go to. Like, it's kind of confusing because I'm a Muslim and then bearing the bishop swag, but they're checking the name there. As we all know, bishop in the church is a high priest individual, so it modifies the swag. I'm talking about the swag like bishop of swag. Oh, yeah, not bishop of the church. Like bishop, the swag is holy, like high priest swag, kinda.
Yeah, interesting. Did you come up with this name when you were in school, or it was just when, as the music, started flowing, the title, the nickname came about?
It was when I started the music. Actually, it was the Aliyu. Everyone knows me with Aliyu. Then when I started, I had to find a name and just swag it up.
So what inspires you? What is your inspiration? What made you to go into the music industry?
Passion. I was actually born with it. I feel so, because then I went to a boarding school, police school, matter of fact. So you can actually imagine how strict it will be. And then I normally sneak with my headset and my radio. So during dining, I don't go to dining. I just put on my headset, listen to music.
Of course, it's your name. Yes.
Aliyu always stubborn.
Always listening to music, and then from my secondary school, I had to I need to go deep into this, the passion and all of that. So I took it serious when I got to my university, Nasarawa State University, KFE. So from there.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, indeed. I mean, we've seen even this song that was played before we came back, which was Naso You Be. There was a lot of message in that. There was a lot of affirmation. And we all know how important it is. We keep telling ourselves, you need to have affirmation. You need to talk yourself out of anything in order to go up. So let's talk about the inspiration behind your songs, the lyrics that you write and your vibe. Like in rap, they would say the bars that you're dropping.
Yeah. Well, my music, most times, I don't just sing a random song about girls like that. Just maybe if I have Afro beats, you just have to go random on it. But most of my songs are from my experience. That is my source of inspiration. That
makes it interesting because you just don't write songs because you want to write. You should tell a story. When you tell a story, people will relate to it. When we played the song Naswebi, I was saying the place my head captured was where the money will grow like grass. You see now people
indeed, but it's money really growing like
maybe in Aliyu's farm it's growing like grass. We have to we'll go and fetch from it when it grows.
But don't finish it, Sha. I'm just trying. I'm cultivating. I will cultivate it. I'm just trying to,
So we always have this way of people infusing their dialect into songs, especially you coming from Arewa as an Arewa artist. Do you have songs, or have you thought of infusing Hausa or your dialects? I don't know if you have other languages that you speak. You may be Hausa and could be Fulani by tribe. So have you thought of infusing your dialect into your own songs, because we are talking about creativity here?
So I am Hausa and Igala.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Hausa and Igala. So when I started, I actually started with normal English rap, just like every other artist. Then during my university days, I had to like sit down and I was like, I need to be different. That was the main reason actually. I was like, what am I going to do to like keep me different from other people? And then I checked everyone doing the normal thing. And then also checking the industry. We don't have the Hausa representative, somebody who is representing Hausa like that is well known.
Well, we do have few, you know, like Morel, Classic. They are really trying, you know. These are people that you can...
Like, yeah, they are trying. Those are my friends. We do things, but getting to Lagos, I'm very sure, like 80 to 90%, they don't know them. Matter of fact, like,
because I remember Morel having a song with Olamide back then,
and his songs back then, and then all of a sudden
with Rugged Man, you know, and other people that he has featured.
Yeah, then but all of a sudden, he went mute, and then we don't need that kind of energy.
So do you think you would represent the Ariwa?
Yes, I'm taking Ariwa to the world. That is my mission. Like, I'm trying to put Ariwa to the, like, on the map. Just when you're talking about Olamide Fino, I want to be that artist. When you're talking about Ariwa in the North, you'll be like Bishop Swag. You know, and
that's a great dream, and you know, hope you're working towards it. But then
it's not easy.
Talk about it. Of course it won't be. Let's talk about the challenges now of all of that. Now you mentioned that you have to even leave Ariwa in general, the northern part of Nigeria, to Lagos in order to push your career into the next level. But what was behind that decision, and then what are the challenges that you
lack of support? We have to be honest about this. Like, the North, we know the religious stuff is actually affecting the entertainment in the North.
Yeah.
So, but then from that, and due to that, we have lack of support. We don't have investors
funding.
Funding the entertainment. They all feel like this one number. So, but that is the major issue we have. Like, the sponsors support, we don't have the support. Getting to Lagos, like, there are people who are actually pushing me. They are not Hausas, they are not from the North. They are Yorubas, but there are people that just believe in what I'm doing and then pushing me the little way they can.
So are there people that, you know, when you're writing your lyrics, or when you are inspired by a particular song that you're writing, that, you know, that they come into play in your, you know, your style of writing? Like, maybe some musicians that you look up to, maybe their kind of style, if it's a rap, if it's, you know, whoever it is that, you know,
but funny enough, the people I actually look up to are weird people, artists, and in most cases when I tell people, you know, they get very surprised. Like, I listen to Lucky Dube.
Well, Lucky Dube is a cool song.
Yeah,
he's a cool. So he's rapping.
Yes. So like,
because these are people that actually speak live in their songs. That is what I want to say.
Like, I learned like speaking like reality from Lucky Dube. Like, I listen to other artists, Nigerian artists. I know, listening to Ice Prince, Magneto.
Exactly. You know, you talked about the Ariwa, people not knowing, but you see Magneto, Ice Prince, they are all from the North.
But they are not indigenous the way I am.
Well, yeah.
All right, so let's talk about collaborations, you know. We see, just like you mentioned, the Southerners, when it comes to music, they collaborate with themselves. I think that's how they were able to infiltrate the industry more. When Fino started, not everybody was embracing it because he was rapping in Igbo. But then immediately,
you know, before he started, Nigga Raw was there. He was doing that.
So but it was a battle.
It's like he paved the way
for them. These people tend to collaborate with themselves in order to get the fans of this to listen, to start welcoming your idea. So the northern part of Nigeria, are you people making plans, you know, to create more collaborations?
The thing is, just like I said, and the Norths in Hausa, I would say, Bama da Hadankai. That's the fact. I will always say it's like we don't come together. Going to Lagos,
cooperation.
Yes, no cooperation. Like, the moment you're having, you're getting this attention, you tend to, you know, start feeling yourself, and then fame
gets into your head.
And then you start taking yourself from others and then feeling yourself, which is very bad. So, but in Lagos, I've had like several collaboration. Just like I said, my mission is to put Ira on the map. I have collaboration with Mubad, late Mubad. I have with Ayofe, DMW. I have with Magneto also. I have with Bokwaila, LK Kudi, so many.
Lots of names are there.
Yes, so many of them.
Interesting. So let's talk about, I mean, one of your songs that we just heard, So You Be, you made mention earlier that you tend to use the examples of what is happening in your life in order to write down your lyrics. So what is your creative process? At what point would you just sit down and tell yourself, something happened, let me sit down, right? Tell us the process.
Yeah, you know, like I said, it's my experience. So sometimes there are songs, I make love songs also, make life, you know, songs, like what I go through and all of that. So sometimes when I go through something and I'm just sitting down and I think about it, the best way to express myself is through music, putting it down and recording. I feel more comfortable and more relief doing that. So anytime I'm going through something and I don't put it into music, it haunts me. So that is my own way of,
you know, it's just like
out.
poets, you know, the most poets don't know how to express, but they can express themselves through their poems.
Yes.
So tell me, in what ways do you see your musical influence, you know, evolving or expanding as your career progresses in time?
Just like I said, in no time, we are going to take over. Ira is going to be heard. And I'm expecting, you know, we're going to be heard, not just Africa, just like other artists, like indigenous artists like Olamide and Fino, being heard worldwide. And I think Ira music is on the way. We are coming, and in no time we're going to be heard.
So another question is, what do you consider when you're writing your songs?
I consider the things happening, just
like your rhythm. How do you come up with the rhythm, the right
lyrics,
words that goes with it? How do you, the first buzz or the first line and the second line, how do you come up with, you know, people want to know how you do that, because for me, it's the rhymes, you know, because for me, when I was doing that, a line will just come and I'll write it down. I may not know what it means, but later maybe when I sit down, and then another one will just come. It may not even connect, you know, but then you can sit down and then rearrange them. So how do you do that? You know, what are things that you say
I can't really tell how the process goes.
Why are you just like Whiskey that just goes into the studio?
Yeah, I'm more, but I freestyle.
On the way, just that goes into without writing any song.
Later is even somebody that is writing the lyrics down for him, because
he may not even because you just go and just
actually, because I'm more of a freestyle artist. I freestyle. I can actually go to the studio without writing. The ones I write are maybe things I am going through, and then I feel like, okay, let me just put this. Okay, I went to this place and I was disappointed. Okay, I went to this place. This is what happened. So put it into.
So, but don't you think maybe one day if you're in the booth and you are just, you know, freestyling, you could say something, even though you could record again, but maybe to just keep your mind. How you now trace your, you know, your
I always
stuff
record.
But you just
phone.
change.
No, I record with my phone. Even when I'm freestyling, I record. I have my phone on.
Do you
record.
engage in rap
battles? That freestyling. I saw a clip of yours that you just play, someone holded the camera and then you just started vibing. What is the concept behind that, and how are you able to wrap your brain for your creative day to just keep popping? I'm always curious.
You know, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
You know, like,
how do you know what word comes next after you say this? So yeah, it's really important.
It is consistency and hard work. Like I said, this is something I found myself doing. I can't actually, you know, give a trace of me learning music. It is something I just found myself, okay, I'm doing it, and but while doing it, like, I have this level of consistency. I keep working on myself, even while other people are outside. Sometimes I don't go for parties, I don't go for things. During my university days, I'm always in my room, just writing, working on myself. So I did my homework.
Okay, so this is a very important question that I think in every aspect everyone needs to be asked. How are you getting the support that you need from your family, loved ones? How do they take this when are you the only person that sings in the family first? Then
Yes,
how are they supporting you?
I am the first person in my family to like go into the entertainment. My dad is a policeman and he's very strict. You know, it's normal. It's normal. Like every parent wants the best for their child. So when you find your child doing something, you're not actually okay, and you don't know about. You have to question. So from the beginning, I have this, little with
challenges
my dad,
here. Yeah.
Where what are you doing? Are you sure this is going to?
Dads with their sons.
Yes. So
they
like,
always.
But my mom has always been my fan. My number one fan.
Mothers are always like that.
My family, they all got my back. Even then, when I go for shows and all of that, my mom will be the one to tell my dad, okay, Nina Akeshi, yes, your mom.
Well, meanwhile, you've gone for a show.
Yes.
You just casted your mom now.
Yes. No, she has actually, if not for her, I think I would have given up.
Wow.
Because I wouldn't have had those opportunities to have, explored and all of that. So she got me, and my dad, with time, he got to understand that. Okay,
I remember some comedians.
After a lot of.
All right.
Yeah, the banter.
Talking about music and what you write, a lot of people, one of the things they would push is that if you are writing or even a movie, anything artistry, it should be with a huge chunk of message. And you made mention that you work with your experience in creating your lyrics. So what are the messages that is hidden there that you would want every lover of your music
to unravel?
To peak?
Yes.
In most cases, I speak about life and morals. When you listen to my music, most times, like 80 to 90% of my music, I'm teaching. I'm always teaching, telling you, okay, when you do. I have several songs about, the streets, the hookup, and so many things you get. So I teach from my music. You will know, just like the name Bishop, like a priest, I'm preaching through the music and all. So
tell us a particular moment or experience that maybe you've gone through that actually made you to feel that your musical career is actually going to go far.
Well, I think it started from my university. My whole story and career started from my university. When I went to my university, I think from my 100 level second semester, I just performed at a street show at Kefi. And then from there, the whole place, everybody, they were shouting. There were other artists in 400 level before me. But coming to the school, I had everyone calling the name. If there is a show, the VC is attending, I have to be the one to perform. If the governor of Nasarawa State is coming to the university, I have to be the one in front.
That is beautiful.
So from there, I knew. And then from there, even when I was in the university, I didn't have time to like attend classes that much. Because it's
not everyone that is able to manage school and music at the same time. It's really
difficult.
tricky.
So
yes,
like I do travel to Lafia, Akwanga, sometimes Kaduna.
So then how did you manage to graduate? Because if you've not been able to attend classes, were you able to defer the semester?
No,
what happened? Or
grace of
wait
God,
for you to come back?
Just grace of
as
God.
a star boy of
No, they don't wait. But I do my work and I have friends who cover up for me.
You just keep casting people.
Yes, no, but that's the fact. I have people who actually got my back. They knew, okay, this is what he's doing and he's not in school now to the student. So
Sumaya earlier mentioned collaborations. Are there people you're thinking of collaborating with in the industry? Aside from the Mobile that you mentioned, other people,
I would love to have a collaboration with Olamide and Fino. That is
so what efforts are you making to see that happen?
I'm working hard on myself. I believe they will notice when I work. The thing is, you don't just walk up to people when you're not prepared. You have to have
a banger that you go with.
Yes, you have to be prepared and be, ready.
But do you think? I listened to the kind of music they do, and you made mention that even your own inspirations, the song that you listen to, it's a bit different from what Olamide and the rest do. So do you think there's a way that you can align it with your own kind of music?
Yes, a lot. The thing is, Olamide, I also listen to Olamide, being a Hausa indigenous artist. So when I started it, like I had to, you have to listen to some people, to know what the idea of what they're doing. So I listened to Olamide, Fino, Reminisce, and all of that. And in most cases, when my career, picked up, I stopped listening to people because I had to like find my own self.
Yeah, we actually, you mentioned Zubaida, saying she wants to imitate Nafisa Abdullah. We talked about finding your own identity, which is very, very important. Yes. Do you think with time your style is going to switch, because you said you listen to Lucky Dube, likes of Bob Marley and the rest? Do you think your style is going to switch kind of to commercialize your song, because that's what's selling now?
Yes.
So do you think with time you're going to have that
already
switch?
It's commercial already.
Yes.
I have like commercial songs.
Definitely.
In as much as I have hip hop songs, I do like the commercials where a danceable, the afro, what the trending
something
sound.
that can be played in events and stuff.
I'm dropping on my EP this year, like in some months time. Like not regular, that's the title.
So is there any reggae kind of rhythm?
Reggae, but afro. It is more of afro.
I think it would be nice to see, a Hausa song in a reggae kind of way, since you like Lucky Dube.
It's not his style.
Lucky Dube. I'm just speaking.
I'm just imagining how it will sound.
Unique.
Just like the Amapiano that people can do Hausa, the Igbo. What's his name? Limpopo guy, Ojapiano, from KC and all that. So I'm just imagining, how Hausa would be with reggae and stuff. So yeah.
Okay, let's talk about, you mentioned that you'll be dropping an EP soon. Let's talk about the inspiration now behind that. It's always good for you to, set the ground for the people that are eager to listen to this song. What should people expect? Yes, on that one, and also the inspiration behind it.
And then to add to what she just said, is there a video coming with it, or is just
definitely. I have, the year just began, so we are working. I'm working really hard, and the EP, not regular. The knots there, not Ariwa, and then not again. From the spelling, we have the knots, that's not regular. I am not regular and not regular. So the knots has two meaning. So on this project, I have like collaboration. I collaborated with different artists from Lagos, like Ayofe, the Ayofe, DMW Ayofe, so many artists.
Okay, so quickly,
he hasn't answered one of the questions, which is the message.
What people to expect.
Expect from that.
This very project is just a commercial project.
So there is no lot of message in it.
It's more. I want to just blend into the industry. So I want to give them the trending, what they want.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I've given a lot of hip hop and my own style. So now I'm trying to, blend to what they want, and that is why the EP is more of collaboration. I have like every song I collaborated with the 4 songs on the EP.
But there is a touch of the north. I'm a northern. I have to. There's the Hausa in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll wait to see if there's going to be Igala in it as well. But then, quickly, in your experience so far, for those watching and listening that want to indulge in, the musical career, what do you think they can take from you, and then maybe see how they can also encourage themselves to go into this industry from your own experience? Is what I want you to.
The only advice I would give to any artist coming up trying to make it is just believe in yourself and just keep pushing. Consistency, hard work, and then there will be a lot of tribulations, obstacles, like challenges and all of that, but in the midst of that, just keep pushing. Because when I started, I didn't have anything, to be honest. But my seriousness and my hard work actually convinced people to support me. I never had anything like a lot of things I did, it was out of the hard work and the consistency.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So now you've spoken to people who are aspiring. Let's talk about the government now.
Okay.
You made mention of investors and on all that, and we all know that investors need to have a better environment, economy for them to invest, to bring in. So the president has made a lot of steps in the art, culture, entertainment industry, and one of it is creating ministry, and even we saw the recent appointment of Alinuhu and other people. So in terms of music, what would you want the government to do?
They should look into music in as much as every other sector in the entertainment, and not just even the entertainment, just the way you deal with other sectors. Check
education,
yes,
and all that, and look into the entertainment.
We have to like go into the music deeply, because it's been ignored for so many years, and it's really going to be difficult for us to like. We are trying, we the artists. I believe we have talent in the north, but due to the lack of support, you know, support kills dream. Lack of support.
You know, the funding should go to all the industries at the end of the day, because the entertainment industry, when you say entertainment industry, is one.
Yeah.
The music is there, the movie is there, everything that is entertaining is there. So
it's so
thank you so much, Bishop.
Thank you so much, Ali Musa. I would definitely
Bishop
keep calling you Ali Musa. The world can call you Bishop.
And then the funny thing is, you know, Ali is my brother's name and Musa is my grandfather's name.
So I would say, I want to say like a very big thank you to Trust TV for giving me this opportunity. This is a step. You guys have shown like the leadership. This is more. This is what we want actually. This is what I want the government to do.
Okay, so maybe you should freestyle for us. You know, use Trust TV and just freestyle. You know, you're a freestyle artist, so.
Okay, so na ce yanzu yaran nazo kuma ana Trust TV. So when I started, mutane suna cewa just bring your CV. Na ce a'a ni waka zan yi, suka ce ha what a pity. Amma yanzu kun ga muna aiki kullum muna gida muna titi.
Kuma lallai mu ma mun ji kuma mun yaba saboda
kuma Trust TV
I'll feature you. I think I'll put you in the EP now. Yes. Thank you very much. I really appreciate this opportunity.
Known as Bishop Swag, we appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
To talk about you know, your music craft, and we hope that of course you take your dream of taking Arewa to the next level come to fruition. All right, viewers, and with that we've come to the end of Daybreak Extra.